Jupiter is more than just a planet of expansion. It is the part of your chart that shows you where you are naturally the wisest. And through this wisdom, you are able to break away all types of limitations and step into great good luck and great prosperity and abundance. It is the most benefic planet out of your whole chart. And according to where Jupiter lies, it is going to be giving you different blessings in this lifetime. Today, I'm going to be going through Jupiter through all the houses for Vedic astrology. So let's check it out. What does it mean for your personal placement?
Shri Krishna
Jupiter, or Brihaspati in Sanskrit, is a most important planet in our chart because it is the great benefic that brings us massive blessings and goodness into our chart. We definitely want to know what those are, and we definitely want to be able to channel them and make the right decisions so that we're able to turn on the great blessings that Jupiter has in store for us. Now, before I continue, let me introduce myself. My name is Vinodini Dasi. I'm a Vedic astrologer, author, and practitioner of Bhakti Yoga. So if you are into Vedic astrology, ancient knowledge, and self-development, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss any of the nectar. Let us understand a little bit more of what Jupiter or Brihaspati means for Vedic astrology. Jupiter is known to be the guru of the Devas because Jupiter, the moment of his birth, he's actually the son of this great sage Angiras. And also he was endowed with deep wisdom and knowledge of the Vedas from the moment that he was born. Therefore, they made him into the spiritual teacher of the demigods. So he represents divine wisdom. He represents sacred knowledge. He represents moral guidance, and as well as expansion through dharma. Dharma being our duty, our divine purpose in life. Not just for us human beings, but also for the demigods. So one of the pastimes of Brihaspati, one of the most famous stories, is that Brihaspati is known to be the guide and counselor of the great demigods, especially Indra. Indra is the king of the demigods. So up in another higher lokas, these higher beings who are also servants of the Lord need guidance and need a guru and need a teacher to guide them through the right path. Because whenever the demigods lose their way due to ego, pride, selfishness, distraction, Brihaspati is the one that restores them back into their dharma. So wisdom is not just knowledge. It is also the ability to guide someone back into their dharmic path. Even Krishna, God, when he was reincarnated here, the many reincarnations, Ramachandra and Krishna, they had a guru. He had a guru here, and he's perfect. He's God himself. But it is to show us that it is absolutely appropriate and necessary for the conditioned soul, the jiva, the human entity, the life, the living entity, to have a guide or a teacher in their lives so that the soul is able to be guided in the right way into its liberation. So one of the most famous pastimes of Brihaspati is that one time there was Indra, who was the king of the gods. He disrespected Brihaspati because of his own ego, because of his own pride. Indra, who is the king of the gods, he ended up insulting and disrespecting his own teacher, his own guru, Brihaspati. And Brihaspati, feeling dishonored, he decided to withdraw. And when Brihaspati decided to withdraw, this was a big loss for the demigods, because without their guru, the devas lost their strength and they were defeated by the demons. So this pastime teaches us that when we disconnect from divine guidance, humility, and wisdom, we lose protection and clarity in our lives. And this is in all aspects of our lives. Now, the famous story also of Tara and the birth of Mercury, I talked about more in depth of that story in the video of Mercury. So if you have not seen that video, then I highly suggest that you go check it out in my channel. It's already up there. Check out your Mercury placement. But pretty much Brihaspati's wife Tara was she ran away with Chandra, moon, and they ended up eloping, and then they ended up having Buddha, which is Mercury, a child together. So this is showing a great conflict. Brihaspati got very, very upset, and there was a great conflict where they had to fight for Tara back to come back to Brihaspati. And so this shows us that there could be conflict between wisdom and the mind and emotion. And we have to find this middle balance. The spiritual meaning of this story is that even great wisdom can be challenged by emotional desires. True growth requires integration of both of them. This is one of the reasons why Jupiter actually becomes exalted in the sign of Cancer, which is the only sign that is ruled by the moon, because it comes into this balance of emotions and wisdom working together. And this is another reason why sometimes the greatest, best bona fide gurus for somebody can sometimes make the person have this clash where their emotions and their desires are not being met by the guru, by the teacher, and so it creates conflict. Or sometimes the wisdom is just given and it doesn't rub the emotions and the desires in the right way. Or we end up with a teacher that is just praising our emotions and our desires, allowing our emotions and our desires, so that we like that teacher more because it makes us feel more comfortable. So at the end, it is understanding that wisdom and desires, sometimes it can be challenged here, and that just because it doesn't feel perfectly right doesn't mean that it's not the best medicine for our soul. Then the significance of Jupiter in Vedic astrology is very important, because Jupiter governs many things, but it's also the most benefic planet. It's the biggest planet, the biggest graha out of all Vedic astrology. So this is where we can see our blessings. This is a very important planet of goodness that we have been blessed with, because he governs wisdom and higher knowledge. Wisdom and higher knowledge is the one that is going to help our soul to evolve to a better life and eventually get into the service of the Lord, and eventually having full real liberation. Also, it is the spirituality and faith. It rules this realm of spirituality and faith. And it is quite sad, because nowadays we have disconnected, especially in the Western world, a lot more from faith and spirituality. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot of false religions. There is a lot of watered down religions. There is a lot of religions that have become tainted, and they're no longer really passing on the timeless truth of the soul. But there's still some out there that are in alignment with this, and they must live on, because it is the only way for our soul to connect to the divine. And when we don't have a connection with the divine, our mind suffers, and we become a society of mental illness and neuroticness. So wisdom and spirituality are very, very important, not just for the soul's growth, but also for the purification of the mind and body. Also, Jupiter represents teachers and gurus. It is the mentors in your life, even, yes, the teachers that are of math, of science, of mundane topics. They're also a representation of Jupiter, because teachers are the ones that could have taken them years, maybe 20, 30, 40 years to learn certain things. And when you become the student or disciple of these teachers, they're so merciful to give you all their knowledge, pretty much as you can handle at once. So if you're a great student, a teacher will just pour all that they know onto you with no restraints, with no gatekeeping. And so this is also a representation of Jupiter. And what could have taken them 30 years to do, you can learn them in a couple of months and have a massive quantum leap to another level of your life. Your soul really grows here. So teachers and gurus are a great representation of Jupiter in the planets. Also, Jupiter represents marriage, especially for a woman's chart. Because in reality, the divine calling of marriage wasn't just for two people to come together and please each other physically, mentally, and emotionally. The real concept of marriage was created so that two souls can come together and understand and practice what true unconditional love really means. And this means the purification of the ego, the purification of the mind, the purification of the body will go through a process. Nowadays, we have 50% plus more divorces in the world, especially in the Western world, because we don't take marriage as this concept. Either we take it as a contract of you give me this, I give you that. You act like this, I act like this with you. You behave well and I keep you, or you behave bad and I take you away. You need to please my body, you need to please my mind, you need to please my desires, you need to please whatever it is that I want so that I can love you. And if you don't, then I can't. But in reality, the true marriage is to be wiser with each other, is to be able to see that we are two souls. And yes, we have a body and we are conditioned and we have all these external things and flaws and weaknesses. But deep down inside, there's a perfect divine soul that we have fallen in love with. And our soul also wants to fuse with this. And so it's a convent of sacred love, of sacred practice, to practice what true unconditional love means in this world. And so it is a connection with the divine. And this is why marriages are at churches, are at temples, because it's not just a marriage with the city or the county or the state. It is a marriage with God himself, the three of them. So it's very, very important. Jupiter rules this marriage energy, as well as children and blessings. Yes, Jupiter is the graha that rules over children. So it is the one that shows, when you have children, it blesses you, it expands your lineage, it brings you joy, it brings you happiness, it brings you blessings. That's why they call having a child a miracle. And it's not just a joy for the parents, but a joy for the whole family and the in-laws and everybody else. Also, Jupiter represents expansion and abundance. Yes, expansion and abundance. Especially if it lands in a material house, an Artha house like the 2nd, 6th, and 10th. Yes, there could definitely be a physical abundance. But overall, it's always going to bring an abundance of some sort, an abundance of knowledge, an abundance of wisdom, an abundance of emotional connection, an abundance of occult knowledge, an abundance of moksha, an abundance of liberation, an abundance of happiness. So it's anywhere where it lies, even though Jupiter can fall into a very difficult house, Jupiter will still give good blessings in there. Also, the dharma. Jupiter also represents dharma, and dharma is our life purpose. And this is the one thing that makes us different from animals. Animals, like human beings, we do pretty much the same things, which is sleep, eat, go to the bathroom, mate, and protect our territory. These are the natural animalistic things that we do. But what is the one thing that makes us different from animals? And that one thing is that human beings actually can follow dharma. And dharma is a life purpose, a divine life purpose that God has implanted and that we can channel and that we can create and that we can make it happen in this world. So when we connect ourselves to the divine will, this is the dharma. And there's dharmas for husbands, there's dharmas for wives, there's dharma for the children, there's dharma for daughter and son, there's dharma for brother and sister, there's dharmas for our professions in life. But there's these dharmas that we are born with and that we have to follow through. And when we follow them, this also strengthens our Jupiter and it makes it better. It is said in the Bhagavad Gita that it's better for you to do your own dharma than for you to try to do somebody else's dharma more perfect. And that by doing your own dharma, you will find more happiness than looking at somebody else and it's like, well, I don't want to do what I'm doing. I don't want to be doing, I don't want to be me. I want to be what they have and I want to do what they have. That could actually end up giving you more misery and sadness. And so really embracing our dharma, it's a way for Jupiter to be in alignment. Because when we have a strong Jupiter in our charts, this gives us wisdom and clarity. This gives us faith and optimism. Faith and optimism. And faith is important because faith is the only thing that can relax the mind. When the mind is anxious, when the mind is restless, that is just a byproduct of lack of faith. We don't believe enough. We don't have enough positivity. We don't have enough optimism that good things are coming, that good things are doing, that you are in a good spot in your life. So faith and optimism When we have a strong Jupiter, it gives us that faith and optimism. It gives us abundance and opportunities. The person who is the luckiest, the person who has the most abundance and prosperity, is the person who has a deep, grateful heart. And even if you tell me, oh, but Vinodini, I'm sure that there's people who are not grateful at all, but they're still getting rich. They might not be rich in another life. And even now, the ones who are not so rich, but they have a faithful heart, they might be very rich in another life. So the karma always get balanced. The scales always get balanced. Good guidance and mentors, that's what we get when we have a good Jupiter, a strong Jupiter. We also have strong morals and integrity. And we also have healthy relationships and family blessings when the Jupiter is strong. Now, if the Jupiter is afflicted, weak by any reason, because it's retrograde, badly aspected, debilitated, in a more difficult house, then we may experience a lack of direction. We may experience confusion in our beliefs. We may have poor judgment. We may have an attitude of thou do as thy will. There's no consequences of whatever I do goes, and it's about what feels good to me, period. It's not a moralistic thing. It's not about doing the right thing. We could also experience poor judgment. And we can also experience financial instability. Yes, Jupiter is the one that gives that consistent stability. We can also experience difficulty trusting life, having trust in ourselves, having belief in ourselves, having belief that we can make things happen. And we can also have a disconnection from purpose and feeling kind of lost. So those are the main energies of Jupiter. Now, to understand the remedies, if you do have a weak Jupiter in your chart, or you want to just strengthen your chart, then these are the remedies that you can do to really strengthen Jupiter. First and foremost, Jupiter strengthens through faith. So faith. And I know that faith may have a bad name, a bad connotation. It may be triggering to some people, and I apologize if this triggers you, but I'm just reading exactly what Jupiter rules. Jupiter rules faith. And when we practice some sort of faith, this naturally is going to strengthen our Jupiter. When we pray, when we are able to have some faith, even if it's faith in a saint, an angel, your ancestors, God himself, God is like, we need to have some sort of faith, whatever that may be for you, that you can tap into, that you can just go into and say, you know what, this is the thing that when I pray to, boom, I get all this faith. Jupiter becomes strengthened in there. I know that there's been a lot of bad rep and a lot of people who have represented their religion in terrible ways. And there's also religions that are distorted, watered down, and that are, not really in alignment with the divine truth. We are in Kali Yuga. Kali Yugan religions can be a little bit more distorted, and if you don't understand what Kali Yuga is, then I highly suggest you go check out that video in my channel, what Kali Yuga is. But nonetheless, do not let somebody else's story of their bad, situation with religion or with faith be your story. I invite you to have your own story. I invite you to be curious enough to want to have a relationship with the divine, because this is naturally going to strengthen your Jupiter. Through this, you get wisdom. Also, Jupiter becomes strong when we have humility and when we do service, especially service to our teachers, to our mentors, to our gurus, and to people who are wiser and more pure than we are. Saintly people will be the best one. Another remedy that we can definitely use is the remedy of mantra chanting. We can either do Om Gurave Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, or Om Brihaspataye Namaha, Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Do this mantra at least 108 times on a Thursday at Jupiter Hora. That will be the strongest times. That is one remedy. And talking about Thursdays, another remedy is wearing the color yellow or orange on Thursdays. This is another way to really strengthen our Jupiter and to make it more powerful and to make it more in alignment. So wearing yellow or orange on Thursdays. Also honoring the guru principle. And I know that this could be a little bit difficult, especially for our Western world. We may think that gurus are like this cult thing, or that they're bad. The demons have really, distorted the image of what guru can be. But nonetheless, we have to to strengthen our Jupiter, we have to respect our teachers, mentors, and gurus. Even if you don't believe, just be respectful. This is still going to strengthen your guru. Maybe in the Western world, there's more mentors for people who claim to have 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, and we respect those who have a lot of money and we want them to be our teachers. Great. But Jupiter, and you can respect these teachers, wonderful. But the best teachers are the teachers who are talking about beyond the material, who are actually teaching you about wisdom, teaching you about the divine, teaching you about God. These teachers and these mentors are meant to be respected, and the more you respect them and serve them, the more Jupiter will be happy with you in every single way. Also, seeking guidance from wise individuals. So people who are wiser than you, even if it's your parents, learning to take wisdom in a humble way, not saying, I know everything, I already know. This arrogant attitude is going to definitely debilitate the Jupiter. So it's like learning how to take guidance, learning how to take wisdom from others, people who may be more wise or learned than you. But sometimes it's not learned academically. They're just more in their hearts. They have a more pure heart, and they can give you great wisdom. Respecting these people and seeking guidance from these people will definitely strengthen your Jupiter. Also, studying sacred knowledge, studying sacred texts like Bible, Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, the older the scripture, the more pure it is, of course. So I would definitely suggest the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. Those are wonderful scriptures that are definitely going to strengthen Jupiter. But overall, any scripture that helps you to gain more faith, prayer, it's also a great way to strengthen the energies of Jupiter, because Jupiter grows when we honor wisdom. When we dishonor wisdom, when we dishonor teachers, Jupiter becomes even weaker and worse. Now, another way to strengthen Jupiter is through charity. Jupiter, you can donate on Thursdays. Thursdays is the day of Jupiter, so donating any yellow foods like lentils and bananas and turmeric. These are wonderful things to donate on the temple or the church for Thursdays. This is going to strengthen your Jupiter naturally. I also like to feed cows with bananas on Thursdays. This is also a great way to heal your Jupiter in your chart. Also, donating any books or educational materials, especially if it's Shastra or ancient wisdom or Bibles or Qurans, like donating this to institutions or schools can be a fantastic way to actually also boost your Jupiterian energy. Also, supporting your teachers and spiritual institutions. So donating to your guru, donating to your teacher, donating to temples, donating to church. This is a great way to strengthen the Jupiterian energy naturally, because the more we learn that it is not our money, it is God's money. God is just allowing for us to have that money, and we have to use it wisely. And learning how to give back, it is very, very important and purificational for the soul. Also, another way to heal and to strengthen our Jupiter is, of course, spiritual practices. Yes, studying scripture, practicing gratitude, and engaging ourselves in prayer and devotion. Rituals that also enhance our prayer and devotion is a great way to strengthen the Jupiterian energy, because Jupiter thrives in spiritual alignment. So whatever that may be, if it's a religion or if it's a spiritual practice, but don't let it just be like, don't let God just be a void. Don't let God just be this nothingness. Because even the Bible says God created us in his image. So there is an image to God. There is a body, a shape, a form to God. So connecting to that form is also going to strengthen more of the Jupiter. Not believing you are God, because we could have a part of our soul that is Satchidananda, that is in same but different from God. We are made from the same. It's kind of like God is the fire and we are the little sparks that come out of the fire. So God is the biggest fire and we're just little sparks that come out of it. We're made of the same element, but we're smaller in nature. So we are not God. We are not perfect. And so this concept that I am God can be more of an ego boost or an ego exasperator than actually a humility for ourselves. Humility is the thing that burns down the ego, and that's why it feels like it burns, but it is the biggest medicine. Also, live with integrity, speak truth, act ethically, do the right thing. Don't be mean, don't be nasty, don't be violent. Respect, especially being nasty or violent to people who are highly spiritual or highly educational or highly wise. This is a terrible sin. And follow your dharma. As I mentioned, it is best for you to follow your own personal dharma than to try to follow somebody else's dharma. This is going to help your Jupiter to become stronger, because Jupiter weakens when we act against truth, when we go against the truth of nature, the truth of life, for our own selfish needs, selfish wants, lusty desires, what we want. Because the mind is like, no, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want it to be like this, and I'm going to force it to be like that. It's not, that's going to weaken your Jupiter. Sometimes it's just surrendering to what has been delivered to us, and that's what we take, and that's what we appreciate. That is what Jupiter really becomes a lot more expansive, and such a good way more healthier for you. Now, the last remedy is nourishing diet. And Jupiter becomes very strong when you have a sattvic diet. And this may be the little controversial part for everybody, but I'm just reading what is in scripture. I'm just passing on the knowledge. Jupiter becomes stronger when you have a sattvic diet. Sattvic means pure and clean, which means no meat, no alcohol. And if you want to take it to a whole new level, no garlic and no onion. This is the way to maintain a very pure sattvic diet. When we have a pure sattvic diet, this naturally strengthens Jupiter. I'm not talking about, oh, but meat tastes so good and things are so, and it makes me better. Like, no, I'm just talking about wise, like internally, spiritually wise. Jupiter becomes a lot more stronger when we have a pure sattvic diet, and also when we eat yellow foods like turmeric, yellow foods like bananas, and yellow foods like anything that is yellow. It's really going to strengthen that energy of Jupiter naturally. So Jupiter has a very powerful spiritual meaning, which is the divine grace of God. It is passed on through that Jupiterian energy. So grace is very important for the mind. Even in astrology, we can see third and ninth house, the third house being the house of the mind, the ninth house being the house of God, of religion. It shows that in order for the mind to be sane, it needs a faith. It needs faith in the world, in its life. So that's the reason why the more atheistic we are, the more we turn away from God, the more we suffer mentally, the more we have mental illnesses, the more the mind becomes disturbed. That it is even written in Shastra, in ancient scripture, that the only thing that satisfies truly the mind, because we may think that the material things are going to satisfy it, like, oh, if I get a bigger car, if I get a bigger house, if I make more money, if I have more women, if I have more this, if I have more that, you get it. But then your mind is like, more, maybe this, maybe that. And that incessant restless energy, that is the mind looking for eternal happiness, eternal divinity. And that can only be found in God, in that wisdom. So it is the thing that brings balance and healing to the mind. I always say that anxiety and restlessness are actually an after effect of not having enough faith. It happens when we just don't have enough faith. We don't believe enough. We don't believe in good things. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in good things in the world. And so we naturally become anxious. Disconnecting from God is the biggest suffering, the biggest mental suffering that we can experience. So it is also the expansion through wisdom. So through wisdom, we become more expansive. Through truth, through understanding wisdom, we become more elevated. It also gives us the protection through dharma. When we follow our duties, when we follow our spiritual duties and the will of God, not just our own selfish will, we become protected. And also the inner teacher within us and the external teacher of gurus and teachers. So at its highest level, Jupiter is teaching us to trust in divine timing, to trust in the divine, to trust in faith. Sometimes to have faith even when we can't see, when our mind can't grasp beyond. Our mind has limits, but it needs faith to become more expansive. That's why in the Bible it says if you just had a mustard seed of faith, you will be able to move mountains. Faith during uncertainty. Jupiter is teaching us that it is this practice of faith during the times of uncertainty, during the times of mental calamity. And growth through truth. The more we step into the truth of love, the truth of God, the more growth we have in our lives. So that is for the energies of Jupiter. Now we're going to be going into each individual house from 1 to 12. This is for Vedic astrology placements. If you do not know where your Jupiter lies in your chart, then definitely check it out in the description here below. You will find a link to my website where you can have a birth chart calculator and get your right position of your Jupiter in your chart. All right, let us begin. Welcome, Jupiter in the first. If you have Jupiter in the first house, then this is for you. Now, Jupiter in the first house is a wonderful placement because you are the one who embodies all the beautiful qualities. If it's strong, Jupiter here, then it would definitely give you the embodiment of all the wonderful qualities that Jupiter is. Check out the beginning of the video to understand more about the significance of Jupiter so that you can get a deeper understanding. But overall, this definitely gives you a very beautiful, expansive disposition. You are that person that is highly cheerful, highly joyous, highly optimistic. Some people may say toxic optimism, but you are just that type of person that is bringing people up. You're always that type of person that is helping them see the other side of the equation, helping them see that not all is lost, helping them see that there's always hope, there's always faith. People come to you, you can be always that helper, that mentor, that person that it's always going to motivate and cheer people on and be like an upliftment to others. Sometimes you may feel like you can't find somebody like this. That can sometimes be a little frustrating, like you're the one who's always helping everybody, but you may struggle sometimes to find somebody that is like that for you. So you would really benefit from actually having that amazing energy of a guru or a teacher or a mentor in your life that you can look up to, that because you will be an amazing, great student or disciple. So it gives you that energy of protection. Jupiter here literally protects you, protects your body, protects your physicality, protects your body. Now, if the Jupiter is a little debilitated, we'll talk more about that in a second, but it could bring you some issues physically. But overall, physicality should be very powerful, should be very strong, should be very protected. Your body's always kind of protected. You're also a very easygoing person. You have an easygoing attitude towards life because you can see people are not perfect and people have flaws and people have difficulties and people are just, trying their best. So Jupiter here gives you that wisdom to look beyond the mundane and to look beyond people's flaws, and so it makes you quite easygoing. You also are known. You always know what is the wise thing to do. That is when Jupiter is strong in the first house. You always know what is the wise thing to do, what is the wise thing to say. So there's a strong morality and strong principled energy within you where it's like, yes, this is the right thing for me to do. This is the right thing for that I should be doing. And so it allows you to step into that dharma naturally. You have good children or is good with children. So it can definitely give you a good amount of children here. That would be great for you. Children will bring you wealth, will bring you blessings in your life. Now, if you don't have any children, you naturally are somebody that children adore to be around, adore to hang out with. You are just that person that brings a lot of happiness and joy naturally to children. You're also very generous. Jupiter here is like that expansive energy where you are generous with your time, generous with your money, generous with your energy. You naturally have this energy to be generous with others. So there is this expansive attitude of generosity naturally with you. There's also this energy of being educated. You are wise and educated. People, you guys who have Jupiter in the first house, you really will benefit from going to college, getting a degree of some sort, even if you go all the way to PhD, because you could be that very good, highly knowledgeable, wise person that people just know that you are that educated person. You are also a natural educator because of that. You can teach others very naturally. This is one of the reasons why you get along with children very well. You just know how to teach, you know how to explain, you know how to express, you have the patience. and you inspire people to learn naturally. So there is like a natural teacher within you. There's also a very strong energy of a consultant, a guide. You can guide others, you consult others, you can give them good wisdom, good advice naturally. And so here Jupiter really gives you that ability to be a great minister as well because of that. Also very good at conservant with all forms of knowledge. You just are very well rounded with any type of knowledge. You should definitely have a library in your home. You should definitely have like educational things in your house. Bringing bringing wise people, bringing mentors, bringing teachers into your house will be a fantastic way for you to also enhance your energies. But like your home is not just a home, it's also a home where you can bring more knowledge into your life and like enhance more knowledge into your life naturally. And so you do know a little bit about many things, and you're well educated, well-rounded personality in that. You also set positive goals and attain them. When you have a Jupiter strong here, you make the right goals for yourself and you naturally attain them as well. So Jupiter here, it really gives you the blessing of achieving and making it happen and getting, what you want here. Also, there is this energy of being very uplifting. You uplift yourself, you uplift others, and you uplift the people around you naturally because of this. You just have that happiness and joyous disposition where people just feel uplifted with you. You also correct visions for the future. So you guide people, and when you see people going the wrong way, you naturally correct them. You also correct yourself of any visions of the future. You're like, no, that's not the right way. This is the right way. This is the right truth. This is the right way to go about it. So you have that very strong energy of doing things dharmic and doing things that are right naturally. There's also an energy of wealthy. Some of you guys can have a very strong wealthy energy because you're just expansive, generous. You pray, you are grateful, and because of this, there's like a lucky energy that follows you around, and so it brings you this sense of wealth naturally. And you're also very benevolent life. You want to live a very good life, a very peaceful and happy and joyful and righteous life. And because of this, you naturally attract also a lot of wealth and a lot of opportunities and a lot of prosperity naturally in your life. Now, if Jupiter is badly aspected in this house, debilitated, retrograde, or in weak position because of your own actions, then you could be experiencing things like overly optimistic to the point that it's like way too much, and we know that it's not going well. Also, it could be slow to take obvious gains. You may double think taking on the gains or not acting properly, acting at the right time to making those gains and making that abundance in your life. There could also be like feels of bulletproof. It feels like nothing can get to you. Even when life is trying to correct you, you may just be like, oh, nothing, everything's fine. So, not being blinded by being more honest and humble and really being real with yourself if this is right or wrong. There's also an energy of being lethargic. Now, if it's also debilitated here, it can also expand your waistline because Jupiter expands everything. So too much partying, too much fun, too much generosity, too many big banquets, and too many, too much fun, too much pleasure can actually lead you to gaining weight, especially eating too many fried foods, gaining too much weight, holding on to water retention, and kind of expanding your body and getting fatter. So that is also a weak side of Jupiter here. And if you are experiencing anything like this, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that can definitely help you in strengthening your Jupiter. Also, there's this energy of problems with support, not having poor finances, not having the support that you really need, not getting the real opportunities, not getting support from your mentors or teachers or higher people above you. There could also be this acts more like a body than they really are, okay? Acts more holy than they really are. So you may act more, I'm more perfect than you really are. So be careful with hypocrisy. Be careful that you're saying like, oh yeah, I'm so righteous, but then behind closed doors, you're not that very righteous. Then this could be a sign of a weak Jupiter in the first house. Only you will know that. If there's fraudulent energy where maybe you are cheating or lying or being some sort of fraudulent action, then this is also showing a weak Jupiter in the first house. There could be husband problems for females here. So if you are a female with this aspect, then and you feel like your husband has problems, issues, or your husband is bringing you problems and issues, then this could be a weak Jupiter in the first house. Definitely check out the remedies at the beginning because that can really help you. Also, blood sugar problems, as I mentioned, eating too much, eating too many sweets, and water retention. Getting fat, like obesity, getting fat, overweight. These things can be seen with Jupiter in the first house. We can have liver ailments where the liver is not able to process so much. And so the Jupiter here may show that it's weak in your first house. Also kidney dysfunction and skin troubles and fat and any fluid buildup as well. So if you're experiencing any of these things with Jupiter in the first, I highly suggest you go do the remedies at the beginning of the video. That can really help you. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, my beautiful people of Jupiter in the first, remember that this is just a general story. If you would like to know more about your chart in a deeper way with specific remedies for you, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me in the description here below. You will be able to book one today. So those were your messages, my beautiful people with Jupiter in the first. If you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and please let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the first and how has this shown up for you, so that you can also find other people who also have Jupiter in the first. Now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the second house. Welcome people who have Jupiter in the second house. If you have Jupiter in the second house in your Vedic astrological chart, then this is for you. When Jupiter's in the second house, this is an expansion of wealth. We have a little bit of a Lakshmi yoga here going on. Lucky, lucky, lucky you. When we have Jupiter in the second house, this definitely is bringing you wealth, abundance, prosperity. It expands your wealth naturally. You could be a natural guru of money. You just know how to manage money, how to take care of money, how to go about money. And eventually you can be a person that also teaches others how to have a better relationship and a better money mindset with money. So because of this, you are naturally prosperous. There's natural prosperity that comes into your life. There's a prosperity and money and abundance and resources that naturally come into your life. You could also be very good with language or speech. Your speech can be very beautiful. I've seen people who have Jupiter in the second house to have beautiful voices, singing voices, really pretty voices. And if you haven't, if you're like, no, I never sing, I suggest take some classes because you could really be surprised of how pretty your voice really is. Freddie Mercury had a Jupiter in the second house. Very amazing voice, very powerful voice. So it has good voice, good speech, good with languages. You can also be a person that learns languages very easily. You are very comfortable because you have all the comforts. Comforts naturally come into your life. Resources naturally come into your life. You could also be very polite, very well-mannered. You know how to handle yourself. You know how to handle your energy very politely. You dress very nicely. You look the part very nicely. And because of this, you're very attractive. Because of this, you're very friendly. People see your friendliness and they see it as like, wow, it's so nice, so sweet. Like they're just this friendly person. So sweet. Also, you get wealth. So if you go into finance or anything with finance, economics, accounting, you could be really, really wealthy. Naturally, with this Jupiter in the second house is really nice. Also, you love gourmet foods. You love nice foods. You like the good taste of foods. And I will say, even if you were to actually have a Sattvic diet with the second house, you will gain more prosperity in your life. Naturally, your Jupiter here will become very strong doing that. There's also a very humorous side to you. There could be very funny, always laughing, always throwing a joke, kind of uplifting the mood. There's this humorous energy about you, and you have very good studying habits. So you want to study, you want to work, you just have these strong values. And the values that your family implanted in your life, you really take them to heart. If your family told you never lie, work hard, study, be kind. Like you really take these into consideration and you live by these values, which makes you have very strong integrity, which naturally attracts a lot of abundance in your life. You could be very good at giving as well. So that's another beautiful thing, is like, okay, money and abundance and comforts come into my life, but I'm also selfless. I also I give away. I'm not holding and becoming misery. There's this generosity that naturally comes to you where you want to give to others. You benefit from education. So yes, you will do very well going into education or learning, having a degree, going to college, getting a PhD, getting a master's, getting a bachelor's. It's only going to expand more of your abundance and prosperity naturally. Even some of you guys may make money by becoming teachers of some sort. There is this energy of justice system as well. Some of you guys may make money from being in the justice system, in systems of fairness, or giving speeches of motivation, or becoming singers. That could definitely be here. There's also an energy of very good with money handling. You manage money very well. And if you were to be a financial advisor, you could be a great one. And as I mentioned, you're like a financial guru. You can teach others about finances and how to manage them in the right ways so that they can make more money in their lives. There's also an energy where you also get children, and your children create more abundance and prosperity in your life. So when you gain children, you make more money, you make more prosperity, you make more abundance. Also philosophy. You are naturally a very strong philosopher. You like the truth, and some of you guys may even make money through philosophy. Also food, making money with food, making money with selling any sort of comforts, and anything that is like about food can really make you money as well. Also, precious metals. Man, if you invest on gold, if you invest on silver, if you invest on these assets, precious metals, land, you can make really good money abundance here. And artful endeavors, also, buying art, being a curator of art. You guys can also be artists themselves, but I see you being more of like an investor of art, or a person that gives money to artists and or schools of art, and that could also bring more abundance into your life. And naturally, there also is this energy where you have a good family. So Jupiter definitely blesses you with a good family, with good family connections, with a happy family when Jupiter is strong here in the second house. If Jupiter is debilitated, retrograde, or badly aspected in the energies of the second house, then we can have different results, like wasteful with money. You can waste money in ways that are not the best. So wasting money by buying things that you don't need and then later you don't use them. You can be quite wasteful with money. You could also spend in anticipation of incoming monies. So, I know that I'm going to get paid on Friday. I'm just going to spend all my money now, and then I'll pay it later. Be careful with this. This could also be a sign of a weak Jupiter in your second house. Overspends on charitable and spiritual causes as well, giving too much away to the point that now it's affecting your own life. That could also be something that affects your Jupiter in the second house, as well as poor study habits. You don't want to study, you don't want to focus, you don't have good studying habits, good focusing habits, good consistent habits. That could also show a Jupiter weak in the second house, as well as being lazy. There could be the sense of laziness that doesn't allow you to create more abundance and prosperity. Overeating, or overeating foods that are not good for you. This could also affect your second house and your Jupiter in here. If you're experiencing anything like this, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that could really help you in strengthening it. Because you could also be experiencing anything like being inactive, kind of feeling sluggish from too much food and drink. So again, drinking too much, eating too much, that could definitely weaken your Jupiter, especially if you're eating tamasic foods, alcohol, drugs, and intoxicants. Then that can really weaken your Jupiter in the second house here. Any ailments with the liver, if you're having fatty liver or problems with the liver, as well as swollen mouth, swollen face, the gums and the teeth, or the throat problems, throat issues, thyroid ailments, are all connected to a weak Jupiter in the second house. So if you're experiencing anything like this, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. That could really help you in strengthening your Jupiter so that you can get more of the great benefics that Jupiter has for the second house. So those are your messages, people with Jupiter in the second house. Remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message for your chart where we go deep into your astrological chart, then definitely book a consultation with me in the description here below. You can find the link for that. Alrighty, Jupiter, those were your messages in the second house. I hope that they help. Thank you so much for the likes and the hypes, and please let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the second house and how has this been turning out for you. We can also find more people of your friends and brothers and sisters who also have Jupiter in the second house. Now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the third house. Welcome. If you have Jupiter in the third house in your Vedic astrological chart, then this is for you. Jupiter in the third house is an interesting placement because this gives you the wise determination. In this house of courage, in this house of effort, Jupiter comes here and you put effort into the right things. You have the wisdom for the great determination and great courage to come into your life. So when Jupiter is strong in the third house, it gives you the ability to be a great writer. You could be a fantastic writer, a great person in communications. There's this dexterity with your hands where you write or where you paint or where you anything that you do with your hands. You could be very, very agile and have great dexterity and great skill with your hands naturally. Even playing piano, playing instruments, you could be very agile with these things. You could also be very abundant in fixed assets. So there's certain assets that are solid in your life, and Jupiter here really gives you those fixed assets. If you were to invest in assets like land or things that are more like fixed, then you could definitely get a lot of abundance and prosperity through that. You also get a good home. You can also become a great editor, a great speaker naturally. You can become a person who just people want to listen to you. When you talk, you have immense wisdom to share. You have this expansive energy to share. You could be a great motivational speaker naturally. You will rock it in that industry for sure. There's also an amazing school teacher. You can teach the lower education, the academics, the math, the sciences, the chemistries, the history. You could be a great school teacher. You do very well with children. Children listen to you. Children see you as a cool teacher, as a teacher that they want to actually do homework for. So you are very, very blessed in that part that you can be a great teacher, a person who naturally teaches others naturally. This is also the house of artistry, the house where our skills are. So you could be a great artist. Great artists in writing, great artists in painting, great artists in sculpting, or anything where you build or create with your hands. You could be a great artist in these things, as well as consultant. You just give the right consultation. You give the right advice. You know exactly what to say. Because of this, you could also be an amazing salesman, where you just know how to sell something to somebody and they feel like happy to buy it from you. They feel great that you're the one selling them. You will never be like this sleazy salesman unless it's like a debilitated or badly aspected or weak Jupiter. But usually it will definitely give you the power to convince, to influence, and to get people to buy something. And you consult them into the best things to get. You also have this great philosopher. You can be a great philosopher, a great thinker, a great scholar, a great minister. You are that person that definitely needs to have a book on you all the time. You need to be reading all the time because your mind just wants to suck up all this wisdom. It wants to learn more and more and more. So making sure that you always have some amazing scripture, especially if it's like self-help, motivational, wisdom, philosophical, religious, theology. Like these are the things that could be fantastic for you to truly learn and to expand your mind and your world. You are very opulent in adventures and travels as well. So you are that person that's like, you know what? pack up the car, we're gonna go this weekend to have a little holiday trip, and you just take the car and you go, or you just have a surprise, traveling to somewhere else. So there is this energy to be adventurous, there's this energy to get out of the mundane, there's this energy to just go for an adventure and get out of the house and see things. So you're very good with that spontaneity, and that energies of exploration are very strong within you. That curiosity is very strong with you. There's also a great energy with your siblings. Your siblings prosper because of your chart. So your brothers, sisters, uncles, and cousins, they prosper because of your chart. So you are a great blessing to your siblings naturally. You could be that wise person to your siblings, or your siblings are a wise person to you. Having a good connection with your siblings can definitely strengthen your Jupiter as well. There's also an energy of good neighbors. Naturally, you should always have good energy with your neighbors, unless it's debilitated. But you naturally should have a good relationship with neighbors and community and people around you. They like you, they know you, and they definitely love to be your neighbor. There's also this energy of full of determination. Wow, with Jupiter in the third house, you like to put effort into things when it's strong. You're full of determination. You want to get things done. You want to do them. You don't want to sit around and just talk about it. You want to make it happen. There's also this energy that believes in the support of nature. You believe that, if nature will help you to get to where you want to be, that if you put effort into something, eventually something will come out of it. So there's this natural energy to believe in the support that the nature has for you, the external world has for you, the immediately external world has for you, is here to help you. There's also this energy where you write books and articles. So writing books, writing articles, this can give you lots of prosperity and opportunities in your life. Now, if your Jupiter is badly aspected, retrograde, or in a debilitated way, it's weak because of your actions or because of past karmas or because of bad aspects, then you can be experiencing some different situations with Jupiter in the third, like being unmotivated in general. Like you don't feel so motivated. You don't feel like you want to put effort into things. You feel like, oh, what's the point? I don't necessarily, writing a book is going to be way too much. Like there could be this sort of unmotivated energy to put effort into things. So be careful with that. There could also be an energy of lack of excitement where you just don't feel so excited. You don't feel so excited to travel. You don't feel so excited to get out. You don't feel so excited to put energy into that painting or that book or that new skill. And there's this lack of motivation that can naturally happen with the Jupiter in the third house. There could also be this energy of feeling bored. Oh, it's boring. This is boring. Everything is boring. I'm so bored. Then this is showing like a Jupiter could be debilitated in the third house. Very indifferent. You can be feeling the sense of feeling indifferent, like, whatever. Lack of excitement and motivation and enthusiasm definitely is a weak Jupiter in the third house. You don't feel like following through with things. You start things and you don't finish them. You start stuff and then you lose interest. Maybe ADHD can be something here if the Jupiter is weak in this house. So I highly suggest that you go at the beginning of the video to check out the remedies where you are able to strengthen your Jupiter and make it more powerful, and so that you can get more of the positive aspects of this placement. Because you could also be experiencing like poor attention to details, poor attention span to situations, not seeing the details of things, as well as low in energy and determination. You just don't feel like it. What's the point? And there's this sort of like laziness that doesn't allow you to take action and effort into stuff. You could be a lack of appreciation between siblings, where maybe your siblings fight with you a lot, or you don't get along with your siblings, or you don't feel like you're being appreciated by your siblings. Then this can also show a Jupiter weak in the third house. You can experience losses through laziness. So just because you were lazy, you didn't get that done, now you experience a loss, now you experience a problem, now you experience a loss of opportunity. So that is also a weak Jupiter in the third house. You may lack resources, where you just don't feel like you have the resources to make something happen. This is a Jupiter that needs more strengthening in the third house. Also, any ear ailments. If physically you could be experiencing like problems with your ear ailments, tumors or swollen neck. problems with the neck, with your voice, stuttering, issues with speaking, speech problems, shoulders and fingers can also be having some sort of problems or issues. So if you're experiencing any of these things, then your Jupiter definitely needs some remedies. Go check it out at the beginning of the video where I put some remedies for Jupiter so that you can do them, and those can really help you to strengthen your Jupiter a lot more, and so that you can get more of the beneficials and the benefits of Jupiter in the third house. Alrighty, those were your messages. Remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you take advantage of my consultations. Check out in the description here below. You will find a link to my consultations where we go deep into a natal chart and everything that it means, your personal chart, your transits, and you can ask me as many questions as you would like. Alrighty, Jupiter in the third, those were your messages. Please, if you like this video, give me a like and a hype, and also let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the third house and how has this really showed up for you personally. Alrighty, that's for you. Jupiter in the third. Now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the fourth house. Welcome. If you have Jupiter in the fourth house in your Vedic astrological chart, then this is for you. Jupiter in the fourth house is a very auspicious and really good energy because this is the natural home of Cancer, and Jupiter becomes exalted in the sign of Cancer. So here we have a really powerful energy. You have the expansion through knowledge and family, which is so beautiful. Jupiter here definitely wants to bless you to have a beautiful home, a beautiful family. I've seen that people who have Jupiter in the fourth house usually always have a very nice house. When Jupiter is strong, you get real estate, you get land, you get nice homes, you get nice cars, you get nice boats. You get all the comfortable conveniences here with Jupiter in this energy. And Jupiter really helps you to be content naturally. There's this beautiful energy where Jupiter will help you to just feel happy with what you have, content with what you have. And because of this gratefulness and because of this contentment, you naturally become more expansive. You naturally create more abundance in your life. There's this happiness. This is also the house of happiness, of true happiness. So when Jupiter is here, it's like you're happy with the, even if it's big or small, simple or extravagant, you are always happy and joyful with it. And that is a beautiful thing to have. There's also this energy of abundant fixed assets. So you have, the fixed assets like a home, like a car, like boats, like conveniences, land, like you are that person. And if you were to go into real estate, you can make really good money. Or if you were to sell cars or sell boats or sell like luxurious assets, you will do very well. For sure. There is also this energy of good home. You have a good home. You have a good family. Children are nice. Your family's good. Your home is nice. Your children are good. And your mother, you have blessed your mother when you have Jupiter in the energies of the fourth house. You bring good luck to your mother. So you have good relationship with family overall, your mother, your children, and everybody. There is also this energy of having vehicles, of having clothes, having luxury items naturally. You have success in land dealings and agriculture. So working with restaurants, working with land, working with real estate, working with construction, working with flipping houses, anything like this. Architecture, anything like this will be really, really good for you if you have Jupiter in the fourth house for sure. There is also a great energy of being an educator, especially if you educate on history. Wow, you could be a great historian and a person who teaches about the past. You are a great educator like that. You yourself are well educated as well. You could have gone to college, you could have gotten your degrees, PhDs, masters, so you're very well educated naturally. There's also money from things below the earth that come here for you. So anything from gemstones, petroleum, anything like this that is under the ground, you can actually gain a lot of abundance and prosperity from that. There's also an energy of you becoming a landlord, and you will be like that great landlord. Like everybody will love to, have you as a landlord because you will definitely bless your tenants naturally. And also you enjoy vacations in posh resorts. You love nice resorts. You love nice places, nice hotels. This is a very, very good energy, especially when Jupiter is strong in your fourth house. Now, if Jupiter is not strong in your fourth house, is debilitated, retrograde, or badly aspected, or is just weak from your own personal actions, then you could be experiencing things more like trouble with children. Okay, because it's fourth is 12 from the fifth. So you could be having problem with children. Your children are having issues. You have issues with your children. So this is showing like we need to strengthen that Jupiter in the fourth house so we can get better results here. There's also an excessive expenditures on education and home life. So also balancing the situations with this, not excessively spending on education, not excessively spending on your assets, homes and stuff. Like if you already have 5 cars, do we really need to have more cars? If we already have like 5 houses, do we really need to have more houses? So this could also be a disbalance of the Jupiter in the fourth house here. There could also be like insufficient comforts and basic necessities where maybe you're like, I mean, you're telling me that I could have homes and this, and it's like I don't have any of those things, and there's insufficient comfortable necessities around me and comforts, then this could be showing a week for Jupiter in the fourth house. Definitely do the remedies at the beginning of the video because that could really help you in strengthening the Jupiter. You could also be experiencing like poor shelter and clothing, not having nice clothes, not having a nice shelter. Your home is a mess, like it's not what I've been talking about, then that could be showing more of a weak Jupiter in the fourth house. There could also be a lack of education, where maybe you didn't get the education that you wanted, or you denied education for yourself, then this is also showing a weak Jupiter in the fourth house as well. You could be inattentive to your mother, or your mother is inattentive to you. That's also showing a weak Jupiter in the fourth house here. If you feel like you don't have that very good relationship with your mother is like barely neglectful, then this is also a sign for you to strengthen your Jupiter in the fourth house, and that could really change things for you. A lack of responsibility towards your home and family, where maybe you're like, I don't care about the house, I don't care about my home, I don't care about the things around me to take care of them or my family, then this could also be showing a weakness into the Jupiter in the fourth house. We want to strengthen it. Heart problems, breast or chest swelling, or tumors in the chest and the breasts, then this could also be showing some weaknesses in your Jupiter in the fourth house. I highly suggest that you go do the remedies at the beginning of the video. That's really going to help you to strengthen your Jupiter in the fourth house so that you can get more of the great benefits that this placement really has. You are blessed. You just have to strengthen this Jupiter to get the best benefits from it. So check it out. Alrighty, those were your messages, my beautiful Jupiter in the fourth house people. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your chart, an individual consultation for yourself, then definitely book a consultation with me in the description here below. In the link in the description, you will be able to find it. Alrighty, Jupiter in the fourth, those were your messages. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and please let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the fourth house and how has this really turned out for you, so that you can also find other beautiful people who also have Jupiter in the fourth house. Alrighty, that is for you. Thank you for being here. And now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the fifth house. Welcome. If you have Jupiter in the fifth house in your Vedic astrological chart, then this is for you. This is actually one of the dharma houses, and Jupiter does very, very nicely in this house of children, passion, romance, and intelligence. Okay, this is like your true powerful intelligence and blessings from past lives. So when we have a Jupiter here, you are definitely gaining blessings from past lives. Here we have the blessings of intellect and children. So interestingly, I have seen a lot of people who do have Jupiter in the fifth house, but they'd end up not having children. You can definitely turn on more of your prosperity and blessings if you were to have children. That would really turn on your Jupiter here for sure. So this first and foremost makes very successful business people. Okay, you guys are very successful at speculative business, very successful at business, very intelligent at managing businesses and managing speculative businesses, especially the stock market could be really good for you if you have a strong Jupiter here. Obviously, timing is going to be factor here, but usually you can do very well with a Jupiter in the fifth house and stock market for sure. There's also an energy of being a leader. You are definitely a leader here. You are now sitting in the house of the king, and Jupiter is here. So there's a very strong leader. You are a very righteous leader, a very correct leader in your dealings, and very dutiful when Jupiter is strong in the fifth house. There's also an energy of being a theorist. You can have a lot of theories about this, about that, of ideas. You have a very strong intellect naturally. It really helps when you do mantra work. It really helps when you read Shastra and ancient scriptures, and educating yourself more and more and more every single day is just going to strengthen this Jupiter immensely, because you came to have like this very powerful mind, very powerful intellect naturally. You are drawn to higher forms of spirituality and educational thought naturally. It attracts you. You want to know more about it naturally. There's also this energy of being noble. You're noble and kind to everybody. Even if somebody's below you, you are kind and noble to them when Jupiter is strong in the fifth house. There's an energy of a guide or a guru. You can be a guide or a guru for others, or you naturally attract a guide or a guru in your life here with Jupiter in the fifth house. There's this energy of being very playful, okay? And this stays with you throughout your life. You have this childlike disposition. You are very playful. You like to have fun. Children love to be around you. Children love to have you around, and you have this very deep connection with children naturally. You could be a great educator for children naturally, because they like to listen to you, and they like to do homework for you, and they appreciate you and respect you very naturally. There's also this energy that enjoys amusement in sports, okay? So you like amusement, you like sports, you appreciate the arts, you appreciate people's creativity. You could be somebody who's highly creative naturally. You could be somebody who's very good at sports naturally. But in the minimum, even if you don't participate, you can appreciate it immensely. You can appreciate the artistry, you can appreciate the creativity, and you can appreciate the sportsmanship very, very easily here with Jupiter in the fifth house. You can also be very affectionate and very romantic. You may even teach others of the art of romance, the art of affection. So very, very sweet, very kind, very romantic energy here that can come to you. Because you have great capability to tap into your creative energies, you can be highly imaginative. So you have great creative imagination. You can also be successful in speculation, as I mentioned, in stock markets or any sort of speculation for that matter. You could also be very good with children, or good with very good children. You have very wise children naturally, very good children yourself, or you're very good with children in naturally. You're also very good with women as well. You treat women kindly, and you have a good relationship with women naturally. And it also indicates that you're going to be having a very loving husband when it comes for a woman's chart. So very lucky you, definitely getting a very romantic husband here. Now, if your Jupiter is debilitated, or is badly aspected, or is retrograde, or is weak from your own karma and the own actions that you've done, then you could be experiencing some different things, like definitely having an energy of an attentiveness to children or to loved ones, not being attentive enough to children or the people around you, or your loved ones, or the romantic partner. You could be a little bit of a religious hypocrite, where you take certain things but you don't follow other things, or you say that you do something but you're not really following it fully through, or you preach but you don't practice it yourself. So there could be a lack of hypocrisy that happens here when we have Jupiter in the fifth house debilitated. We want to strengthen that if that's happening. There could be a disingenuous energy as well, unsound thinker, like the thinking that you do can be a little bit out of the dharma, the truth, and that could be showing an energy of a weak Jupiter here. Definitely strengthen it with the remedies at the beginning of the video. There could also be an energy of being unreliable not being able to be counted on, or not quick to take opportunities, especially speculative opportunities where you can make gains. You're not very quick there, or you miss opportunities too much where you could have made abundance in your life. There could be also an energy of carelessness in business, where you could be more polished, but there's like making little mistakes because of carelessness in business, as well as irregular in meditation, irregular in your mantra chanting, not really keeping up more strongly and disciplined with that, as well as a lack of romance, where you just don't feel like you have that romantic partner that I'm talking about, or there's a lack of romance. Then definitely go to the beginning of the video where you can find the remedies for Jupiter to strengthen it so that you can get more of the benefits of having Jupiter in the 5th house. For women, it could end up being a poor husband here if Jupiter is weak and badly aspected. And it could also be for women that could bring you a person that is also not highly romantic as well. So we want to strengthen that Jupiter so that you don't get that. Overall, in the physical, we can have like liver trouble, poor digestion, and frequent, especially poor digestion of fats and oils can also be shown when Jupiter is weak in the 5th house. So if you're experiencing any of these things, then I highly suggest that you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that could really help you in strengthening your Jupiter here. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation and to your chart, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me. In the description here below, you will be able to find the link for the consultation. Alrighty, people with Jupiter in the 5th house, I hope that this helped, and I hope that it brought you more understanding about your placement. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and also let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the 5th house, how has this turned out for you? And that way you can also meet other people who also have Jupiter in the 5th house here. Alrighty, those were your messages, and now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the 6th house. Welcome. If you have Jupiter in the 6th house, then this is for you. If you have it in your Vedic astrological chart, Jupiter in the 6th house is an interesting placement. Even though this is a difficult home, a difficult house, nonetheless, Jupiter is also going to find ways to bless your home. So yes, this is the house of enemies, this is the house of diseases, this is the house of illnesses, this is the house of obstacles in our lives, and you know, difficulties and problem solving. So Jupiter here in a way could expand these issues for you. However, Jupiter's always going to give you something positive and benefit. And what it shows is that any single time that there's a difficulty, a challenge, an illness, an enemy, Jupiter here will always give you the wisdom to get through it and to find ways to benefit from it. So after a difficult time, boom, something really good happens. After a fight, boom, something really good happens. After a conflict, boom, something really good happens. So that is one of the things that we can count on with Jupiter being in the 6th, even though it could be a little bit of a Dushtana house, a difficult house here. So when Jupiter's in the 6th house, the good thing is that it becomes a wise man of service. Like, it becomes very wise in service. This is the house of service. This is the best way to manage this energy so that we don't go into the conflict and the illness. Stepping more into the energies of service is how we purify the energies of the 6th house. So here, when we have a strong Jupiter in the 6th house, it can really give the energies of earning through service. So any service job or any way where you are of service to others, or you're helping others, or you have services to give, you can make a lot of good money through this, especially if it's services with healing, with helping, lawyer, helping you fight conflicts, helping you fight issues, helping you find ailments, helping you fight any sort of problems in your life. As a counselor even, you can make very good services here and make good money out of it when Jupiter's in the 6th house. Also, an expanded capacity as a healer. Definitely healing energies here. Jupiter gives you the ability to be a great healer. If you go into becoming a doctor, if you go into learning more about holistic practices, medicine, Ayurveda, you can be great at this and definitely make a lot of good money with that as well. It gives the energy where you get good helpers. So if you ever want to hire someone, you get good helpers. If you ever want to, get a maid or get a servant, you get good helpers here. And you know how to treat them with dignity and nobleness. So your helpers adore you as well. So the servant master relationship here could be really, really good, where you could be a great servant and people adore you and you gain the heart of your master, or you are a great master to those helpers around you naturally. There is also a great energy to conquer opponents elegantly. So you conquer your opponents in a very graceful way. You don't get your hands dirty. You don't get stained. You don't have to go against your own integrity to beat someone. No, you beat your enemies in a very elegant way, in a very graceful way. You don't get stained. And so usually if there is enemies, and maybe Jupiter may bring an abundance of enemies, you usually come out looking even better and brighter and less untouched by their dirtiness and their dirty hands and their dirty work. So you are very elegant in that way of handling difficulties, handling enemies, and handling obstacles and problems in your life. There could also be great legal abilities. As I mentioned, you could be a great lawyer as well, because you know how to debate, you know how to bring wisdom into conflict. So if there's conflict, you don't get wrapped up in anger. You don't get wrapped up in like, oh, I have to be the one who has the last word. You don't get wrapped up in this ego thing. You can really stay focused on the matter and to help find a solution more than anything, and be very wise in handling these conflicts. It gives you the wisdom to handle conflicts very easily. You can face problems with you face problems with optimism. So when problems come, you don't get down and you don't get depressed and you're not like, oh, poor me, I'm such a victim. No, when you have a strong Jupiter in the 6th house, you believe in yourself. You stay positive. You don't let it, you don't go into this victimization mode when Jupiter is strong in the 6th house. You stay strong and you stay optimistic. So it's highly important for you to be an optimistic person, to be faithful, in order for you to get through everything in life. So more optimism for you really, really helps in your growth. There's also this energy of being humorous. You can be very funny, and you can kind of be humorous about the obstacles of life. Like you can be kind of humorous about all these conflicts and all these obstacles and all these problems and all these worries, and you kind of like, you can find funny things around it. You can find humor around it. And this is a great way to not let it take power over you. We take our power back when we laugh about it. And so you have this ability to definitely see that. There's also this energy of clever at protecting their interest. You're very clever at protecting your side, your interest, your situation. You defend it in a very wise way, in a very clever way. And that's why you could be a great lawyer naturally, because you know how to defend it in a very wise way. There's also this very powerful energy of becoming joculant as well, in a military type consultant or teacher. So there is this consultant energy about you, or this teaching ability that you have, but you're a little bit militant with it. You're very straightforward, direct, to the point, boom, 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 boom. An amazing strategist because of this as well. But your approach is in this way, and people appreciate it. People like it. It's not like it rubs them on the wrong way. They actually see it as like, thank you, I needed to hear that, like straight like that, proper like that, no beating around the bush, and now I can understand things so much more deeper. So this is like a way that you do work with your ability to teach and your consulting energy, as well as a power broker. So you could be a great broker, a great accountant, a great person that organizes things that maybe other people don't want to organize. You kind of, you also don't shy away from working out and doing the things of the day and taking care of your food, like these miscellaneous things that a lot of people may be like, oh my God, it's such a waste of time, or oh my God, like it's so many things to do in a day, I'm so overwhelmed. Like you as a Jupiter in the sixth house, you're like, no, we can do this in an easy, graceful, optimistic, happy way where it doesn't feel like a burden. If it's working out, if it's eating right, if it's cooking, if it's, taking care of work, taking care of the home, like all these to-do lists, you handle them in a very graceful way when Jupiter is strong here. And also it gives you the ability to be resistant to disease. So you actually have a pretty powerful health when Jupiter is strong in the sixth house. Now, if Jupiter is debilitated in the sixth house, badly aspected, or retrograde in the sixth house, then it can give you some different situations here. Like, for example, dissipated, maybe feeling a little bit corrupted. You're not as healthy as you would like to be. You may have low ethics, where you don't follow the strong ethic moral compass. There could be a sort of dishonored, you've been dishonored, or you dishonor others. There could be a lack of motivation and planning naturally, like not wanting to do the logistical work for something to work out. So Jupiter here shows that energy of lack of working things through, being logistical, being organized, being tidy, being clean. Then it shows like a weakness in your Jupiter in the sixth house. We definitely want to do the remedies at the beginning of the video that could really help you in having a better situation with your Jupiter in the sixth house. Also, it can make you doubtful, where you doubt that you can overcome something, or doubt that you can overcome an obstacle, or doubtful naturally. It could also give you an indistinct fortune, where if there's blockages in bringing fortune into your life, there's blockages in bringing opportunities in your life if Jupiter is not strongly if it's not very strong in the sixth house here. It could also give you little optimism, where it doesn't allow you to have more optimism in your life, and therefore it kind of cuts away your luck and your fortune. So if you're not very optimistic, this could be also a sign of a weak Jupiter in the sixth house. It could also give you low resistance to diseases. You get sick easily. You get, you have a bad health habits. You don't go to the gym enough. It goes into this laziness. Then the Jupiter here can also affect these energies naturally. So Jupiter is definitely here to kind of help you more. So definitely strengthen it with the energies of the remedies at the beginning of the video. There could also be troubles with relations. Just conflicts all over, not knowing how to handle conflicts, not knowing how to be wise in conflicts, being too overwhelmed by the obstacles, being too overwhelmed by the conflicts, and just kind of, not feeling optimism enough. And that can also bring this weak Jupiter in the sixth house. Naturally, you want to strengthen it. There could also be this energy of conflicts with helpers. So your people that you hire, or people that work for you, or people that are your maids or servants, you can have problems with them, and this could be showing a Jupiter debilitated, or a weak Jupiter in your sixth house. It could also kind of have problems where you have conflicts with helpers, or even gurus or teachers or mentors. Then that is definitely a sign of not having a strong Jupiter in the sixth house. Now, for women, you can have problems with husband here, because this is the house of conflict, and Jupiter will be your husband. So this could also show that there could be problems with husband, problems with your partner, problems with your other half, if Jupiter is not strongly aspected in the sixth house. So we want to strengthen that Jupiter so that it doesn't give you those results. And also digestive problems, digestive ailments, liver illnesses, fat, fluid, or swelling problems in the body. Then this is also showing that Jupiter can be debilitated or weak in the sixth house. So we want to keep it strong. I would even say, just for you, always do remedies. Check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. to maintain this Jupiter strong, because it is in a difficult home naturally. So maintaining a strong Jupiter in your life will definitely help you to gain more of the benefits for you in your life. Alrighty, those were your messages for this upcoming understanding of Jupiter in the 6th house. Remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you take advantage of my promo. Use the promo code in the description here below to book a one-on-one session with me so that we can go deeper into your chart. Now, Jupiter here also can get a lot of benefits from your pets. So taking care of animals, taking care of servants, taking care of people who need your help, being in the serviceable mood, that will definitely help your Jupiter to become stronger as well. And if you ever feel like your Jupiter is a little bit slowed or it's not giving you good results as well, like a specific remedy for you for Jupiter in the 6th is to really enhance your 9th house, faith, prayer, connecting to God, respecting to teacher, guru. This would really help you to start strengthening and getting more of the benefits of Jupiter in the 6th house. Alrighty, those were your messages. Thank you so much for being here. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And please let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the 6th house and how has it been turning out for you, so that you can also meet other people who also have Jupiter in the 6th house. Alrighty, those were your messages. Thank you so much for being here. And now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the 7th house. Welcome to anybody who has Jupiter in the 7th house in your Vedic astrological chart. This is for you. Jupiter in the 7th house, it is definitely a very powerful placement where you have an expansion through partnerships. Usually the 7th house is the house where we are attracted to what we like. And so Jupiter here, you are very much first and foremost attracted to a wise partner, a partner who's wiser than you, a partner who may be very wise or well educated or optimistic, very happy, jolly disposition, a mentor, a guru. This could be something that naturally attracts you in a partnership. Now, because it gives you that expansion through partnerships, you are definitely somebody who has a big circle of friends, or who has a big circle of clients, or who has a big circle of acquaintances. So Jupiter here is definitely giving you the possibility of having lots of opportunities in partnerships, love partnerships and business partnerships. I would say that sometimes it might get a little too out of hand where you just have too many options when it comes to partnerships, of course. Now, with Jupiter, when it's strong and healthy and giving you good results in the 7th house, you can experience things like where you deal with people well. So people really like you. People see you as somebody who they want to do business with. People see you as somebody who they trust. People see you as somebody who is well-mannered. And because of this, people really like you naturally. You're very likable in social circles naturally. There's also the ability to be able to attract and maintain good partners in your life when you have a strong Jupiter in the 7th house. You can attract business partners and love partners very naturally in your life and maintain them. Jupiter here protects them. There could also be a good marriage. When you have a Jupiter in the 7th house, this can give you great blessings in your marriage or any contracts that you sign with business partnerships or marriage partnerships. Jupiter here definitely gives you that. You're meant to have a very wise relationship, a very wise partner in your life. Also, fortune building business interest. So you could be a great business person. There's a great fortune that comes from business because you have an abundance of clients that can come into your life. So Jupiter in the 7th house definitely can expand clientele and business partnerships. So business is very, very, very good for you, especially when it's with people or dealing with people or having clients and customers. This is great for you. There's also travels on spiritual quests. You want to travel, you want to see, you go for pilgrimages. Pilgrimages are great for you. Spiritual vacations for you are great. Spiritual travels are great for you, as well as being very artistic. You can have a very strong artistic capacity naturally, and maybe this is another reason why people naturally like you. You have a good eye for design, a good eye for balancing colors and balancing shapes, and you could be very well dressed naturally, like a very good fashion person naturally, because you just know how to mix and match in the correct ways what looks good and how to make it all harmonious. There's this ability to create immense harmony in art and with other people. You're like the natural wise diplomat who can bring people together and who can balance people's differences. You are that person that it really, really brings that mediator in other people's lives. There's this ability for having very proficient, learned in many subjects, or people just perceive you to be very proficient and learned, very well educated, and you know exactly how to wait. You are patient with people, you are patient with others, you are patient with your clients, with your partner, with your business partner. And so this naturally makes you very likable. And people come back to you again and again. There's also gains through legal transactions and contracts. So all the contracts that you sign, all the transactions, legal transactions that you are part of, Jupiter here blesses them. So I would say for you, definitely put things in writing. Definitely, get the contract going. Don't just have it be a word contract, but like write it down, sign the paper, make the other person sign the paper. This will actually bless the union. Jupiter will bless this commitment that you create. Now, if Jupiter is badly aspected, retrograde, or in a bad disposition or weak from your own personal actions that you've made, then you can have some different results here where Jupiter may be wasteful and reckless in business, where you're not very tidy with your business and getting too reckless and getting too wasteful with the opportunities here. So balancing that, because Jupiter can give you some negative energies in your business here. Lack of alignment with partners, where you fight with your business partners, you fight with your love partners. There's a lack of being aligned with the other person or coming into some middle ground with the other person. This is showing a weak energy of Jupiter in the 7th house. You could also have like a lack of enthusiasm, where you're not very enthusiastic. And so people don't, you do very well when you are the enthusiastic person in the group. Then people are like, yeah, they feel energized by you. But if you're not enthusiastic, then it's almost like this weird vibe in the group or in the social circle or like in the relationship. So enthusiasm has to be there for sure. But this could be showing a weak Jupiter in the 7th house if you feel lack of enthusiasm. You also want health without effort, where you want to gain wealth, you want to gain abundance, but you don't want to put effort in it. You want it to just come to you easily. And that is showing a weak disposition in the 7th house with your Jupiter here. You like the attention of romantic and sexual partners, even if you already have one. So you want more attention from other people, even though you're married already. You want more attention from other people who find you sexy and attractive, even though you already are in a partnership. Then this is showing a weak energy and a debilitated Jupiter in the 7th house that we want to strengthen so that your commitments are honored, and then Jupiter can really give you some good results. As I mentioned, it can be too much opportunities in partnerships. So, if you're entertaining all of them, this can weaken your Jupiter in the 7th house. There could also be a partner who has a weight problem. Your partner may have like issues with their weight, any obesity or overweight. And so this also kind of gives you a problem here where Jupiter shows a weakness in the 7th house. Partners are not attentive to you, are not giving you the attention that you deserve. And so this also disturbs the marriage, disturbs the connection, disturbs the partnership. And it can give you a weak husband for women. In a woman's chart, it can give you a man who is weak, a weak husband. So be careful with this. You want to strengthen that Jupiter. At the beginning of the video, I put remedies so that you don't get this result. And also a lack of fertility and weak back and kidneys. So if you're experiencing any of these negative parts of Jupiter in the 7th house, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. There, doing those remedies will help you to strengthen your Jupiter and get more of the better results of Jupiter in the 7th house. Alrighty, that is for you, Jupiter in the seventh house. I really hope that they help. Love you guys so much. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one consultation with me where we can go deep into your natal chart, your current transits, and you can ask me as many questions as you would like. Alrighty, that is for you, Jupiter in the seventh house. If you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And also let us know in the comments how it is that you can that if you have Jupiter in the seventh house, and what kind of results do you have here. Now, a specific remedy for you, Jupiter in the seventh house, that can really help you is that you really have to activate your 10th house. So for you, you really have to work hard. You really should, work hard, take a job outside of the house. And when you start endeavoring and working hard, even if sometimes it might not be the most glamorous job, that is when your Jupiter starts giving you some really good results. So that is for you, Jupiter in the seventh. All right, let us know if you have Jupiter in the seventh house in the comments below. And here you will be able to find other people who also have Jupiter in the seventh house. Tell us your story. We would love to hear it. Alrighty, that is for you. Now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the eighth house. Welcome to anybody who has Jupiter in the eighth house in their Vedic astrology. This is for you. Jupiter in the eighth house is a very interesting placement. Again, we have here a very difficult home, which is about unexpected changes, death and rebirth, sexuality, the occult, the unknown, the taboo. And so this is the house of unexpectedness. This is the house where we never know what's going to happen. But having Jupiter here, it's always going to bring some sort of benefic energy to it. Now here we have the expansion through the transcendental, because this is the house of transcendence. Now we go into the invisible, the unknown. And so this is the house of secrets and the unknown, the house of our psychology. And when Jupiter is strong in the eighth house, it can give you a lot of earnings through other people's monies or support. So that is one of the great benefits. This is definitely showing that in your past life, there was some good deeds. And so having a Jupiter in the eighth house shows that in this lifetime, you get to receive. You get the support of other people's monies, you get the support of other people's resources, and you came here to earn through other people's monies and support. So for you, it would be great for you to learn how to handle credit in the correct way, how to manage loans, how to get investors. You can be more prone to getting grants, you can be more prone to getting scholarships, help from others. People want to naturally give you things. And so you really need to learn to receive, having this aspect. You cannot be shy about receiving. You cannot be like, oh my God, no, but then I owe them, or it's bad to take. Like, no, this is just your karma. And especially in a woman's chart, it shows that your husband will be somebody who wants to give you, and who's going to be wealthy, and he's going to actually provide you with financial progress and stability. So learning to receive with this is definitely important. Also, Jupiter, when it's strong in the eighth house, will definitely give you good researcher. You have a powerful ability to research, a powerful ability to understand higher topics, difficult topics, occult, metaphysical topics, and it fascinates you. The taboo and taboo things fascinate you, and you almost see them with a happy eye. Some other people may get scared. Some other people see it as like, oh my God, this is scary, or this is weird, or I don't want to go there. But you're like, oh, let's go there. Like, oh, that's interesting. Like as a psychologist, you could be a great psychologist where you have people with immense traumas, and you just bring like optimism to it. You bring happiness to it. You bring this sort of faith into it, and people are just like, wow, like my darkest moments in life, or my darkest things in life, and you just accept me, and you're just so kind, and you're just so jolly, and then you cheer me up. So you have this ability to really boost that energy. So great researcher in anything you want to research, data analysis, you could be fantastic. These are the people that are real psychics. These people who have Jupiter in the eighth house definitely have a sixth sense, definitely can be clairvoyant, audient, are descent, cognizant, anything like this. You are a great divinator. You could be amazing at astrology, divination, tarot reader. This is just a natural thing that comes to you. It doesn't scare you. You will use it more as like a light thing for for bringing more self-development to the person, so you wouldn't be that psychic that's like inflicting pain and fear onto others so that they pay you more. You will be that one that really brings hope and light and understanding, like a good wise divination. So it's really nice in that way. You can also have a medical diagnostician. You could be really good at the medical world. You could be really good at the mortician world as well. You can make money out of these things naturally. This also gives you a big taste for sexuality as well. But however, the sexuality that you're attracted to has to be sacred sexuality. You are not the type of person that just wants to sleep just because you want an orgasm. Like, you really want to have that union connection, that spiritual divine connection with another person through the act of lovemaking. So you really bring a lot more wisdom and spiritual essence to your sexuality. It also delves deep into the spiritual mysteries of life. You are definitely somebody that can learn the Shastras and the Vedas and the ancient scriptures very thoroughly. You have that gift of understanding these mystical topics, high-end topics, and your Jupiter can really benefit from it as well. You teach secret knowledge. Some of you guys can be teachers of secret knowledge, teachers of knowledge that is not well known, or occult knowledge. You could also be great somatic healers, psychological healers, trauma healers, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists. You really are able to help other people, especially in their mind state, in their secrets, in their darknesses. You are very uplifting and you're very good at doing this. You also have the energy to teach these topics as well. You also may have a military or corporate strategist. So you could be that corporate strategist or military strategist that is behind the scenes, that gives answers, that gives spiritual knowledge, psychic knowledge. Like, I remember I saw this thing one time where it was like in Russia back in the USSR, when they used to have a Cold War, they used to have like a section of the military for people who would practice psychic abilities to understand when attacks should be, divinators to understand when attacks should happen, or even people who would practice like telekinesis and expanding their mind power. That was like something definitely that was there. So you could be a great strategist and also business strategist naturally as well. There could also be an energy to get mystical gurus or teachers. You guys are the ones that if you perfection a mantra, you will definitely get a city. There could be a city that can come here for you guys as well. So Jupiter definitely blesses in all these ways. Another thing that I have seen with Jupiter blessing in the 8th house is that, yes, there is sudden events that happen in your life, sudden things, a sudden ending, a sudden tragedy, a sudden death, a sudden something. But for you, because Jupiter's here, it actually gives you a blessing right afterwards. So yeah, it's a little chaotic, but like when things are tough, when things are bad, you can say to yourself, you know what, things are really bad right now. This means that there's a blessing around the corner. There's something really good about to happen for me after this. And so it's almost like blessings get activated with tragic and sudden events at the same time. So very, very interesting. But Jupiter promises you that it's not just going to be in vain. Like, there will be something really good that will come out of it at the end. Now, when it becomes unfavorable, if Jupiter is badly aspected or in a hard sign or in a difficult debilitation or retrograde, or is just bad, weak because of your actions and your karma, then you could be experiencing other things like unhappy with your partner's approach to money. You guys may fight a lot about the money situation. One thing I do wanted to mention that is also positive about this Jupiter in the 8th house is that it promises, when it's strong, it promises that your marriage could be very long lasting, and it could be strong. It could be powerful, that your partner wants to donate to spiritual causes. Because this is the 8th house of the life of the marriage. And so when Jupiter's here, there's almost like a protection that happens with the marriage naturally. But if Jupiter is debilitated, then there could be more fights with the partner. You don't like how your partner handles money or their approach to money. There could be a lot of energy of worrisome about the unknown, worrisome about what's going to happen. There could be an energy of apprehension where you're apprehensive about taking action in certain things. You can feel like a lack of support or recognition when Jupiter is debilitated in the 8th house. So we want to strengthen it. If you're experiencing anything like this, you want to strengthen it with the remedies at the beginning of the video. That could really help you. You can also have a tendency when Jupiter is debilitated in the 8th house to manipulate others for money, manipulate them for something of a gain that you want to have. And that shows the debilitation of Jupiter here. Also, a lack of self-promotion. You don't promote yourself enough. You don't, it's like you're too hidden, too isolated. So it's like coming out, showcasing like your talents, what you do, getting out of like the isolation, like of the shadows, and showcasing yourself more. There could be an energy of timidness where you just want to stay in the corner on the shadows. So it's like that could show a weak energy of Jupiter in the 8th house. Also, poor finances. Your finances are not doing well, because usually when Jupiter is strong in this 8th house, you do well with your finances. Even if you have not that much money, you do well with them, and you manage your money pretty well. But if it is weak, then you can have poor finances, not having enough finances and support there. There could also be a lack of gracefulness, where you lose that gracefulness with others, that gracefulness with yourself, where you don't feel like there's grace coming to you or help coming to you. There could also be like a phony spiritualist. So for those that may have like a debilitated Jupiter in the 8th, then it could be like a phony spiritualist, like not really practicing being a person of their word and practicing what they're preaching. So that could also show up here. A low resistance to disease, where you get sick very easily, you get illnesses very easily. This shows a weak Jupiter in the 8th house. Also, a husband who has a financial and sexual problems. This is also showing a Jupiter that is weak in the 8th house. So we want to strengthen that. Yeah, you, especially as a woman's chart, you are the one who can bring fortune to your husband with this placement, but if Jupiter is strong. But if it's weak, it can bring the opposite, where it's financial problems and sexual problems to your partner if Jupiter is weak in the 8th house. There could also be troubles with children if Jupiter is not strong in the 8th house. There could also be liver ailments, poor grooming, not taking care of yourself, not taking care of your image, and also getting fat of puffy over time, and also having any Jyotish. So these are some of the things that can be showing you that Jupiter is debilitated or weak in your 8th house. And definitely do some of the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that can really help you in strengthening your Jupiter so that you can get more of the benefits that Jupiter has in the 8th house. So these were your messages for you. Remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me. In the description here below, you will be able to book one today, and we can go deep into your natal chart, your current transits, and you can ask me as many questions as you will like. And for you specifically, a specific remedy for you who has a Jupiter in the 8th house, one thing that could really help you is really activating the energies of the 11th house. So friendships, social circles, being part of communities, expanding your friends, like getting out of the house and making more friends and acquaintances, taking care of your friends, helping your friends, making their dreams come true, serving your acquaintances, serving your friendships selflessly. Then this can also activate your Jupiter in the 8th house naturally. That is a specific remedy for you, Jupiter in the 8th house. Alrighty, so those were your messages. I hope that they help. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And please let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the 8th house and how has it turned out for you. So that way you can also meet other people who also have Jupiter in the 8th house. Alrighty, those were your messages, and now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the 9th house. Welcome. If you have Jupiter in the 9th house, then this is for you. If you have it in your Vedic astrological chart, Jupiter in the 9th house is actually a great placement, because Jupiter in the 9th house, this is its original house. Jupiter rules the sign of Sagittarius, which is the original ruler of the ninth house. And this is definitely giving lots of prosperity and possibilities because it gives you the expansion through high knowledge. This is like the embodiment of what Jupiter is all about. Jupiter becomes very comfortable in this ninth house of religion, faith, optimism, and higher education. So Jupiter here definitely blesses you. And if we have a strong Jupiter in the ninth house, then you should definitely experience things like gains in the highest forms of knowledge. You have amazing gurus, amazing teachers. You gain a lot of gains from them. There is always like a good luck in disposition. You are naturally somebody who is faithful, who is religious, who likes to do rituals, who believes. And so because of this naturally brings you a lot of good luck, a lot of expansion, a lot of possibilities for travel and higher knowledge. You should definitely go to college, study, get a degree. Even if you want to go all the way to your PhD, that will be great for you. Jupiter here will definitely bless you immensely with it. You can get you can get very good teachers and gurus naturally. So you can seek those teachers that are going to get you to the next level, and it naturally comes to you to find those amazing partners and amazing teachers and gurus in your life. You yourself can also become a teacher that is well known, well respected, that is somebody who's very much loved by your students and your disciples. So here is definitely, when it's strong, Jupiter is strong and benefic, it will definitely make you a great teacher yourself. You also have great traveling opportunities, and every single time you travel, it expands you even more. It expands you to new opportunities, to new things, to better things. And so traveling is fundamental for you because it definitely brings massive blessings in your life and opportunities for great expansion. It also makes you have good children and a good father. This is the house of the father, so naturally Jupiter makes you have a good relationship with your father, and this allows for you to be able to have a nice relationship where you gain a lot of wisdom. Your father can be very wise naturally, a very religious man, and so because of this you gain a lot of favor from your father. And you also get very good children naturally. Your children expand your abundance, prosperity, and good luck naturally. There's also a very learned father. Maybe your father is a PhD, a doctorate, a very high scholar, a teacher at a university, but your father could be very, very well studied and very well learned naturally. There's also an energy of philanthropic. You like to help. You would like to be a philanthropist. You are that person that likes to better society with wisdom and with truth naturally. A great philosopher. You can be an amazing philosopher. And if you go into writing, this will be amazing for you. Publishing books, working with publishers, editors. You could also be really good at these things, as well as being a very compassionate person. There is like immense compassion within you naturally when Jupiter is strong in the ninth house, as well as very learned in the scriptures and ancient wisdom. This is definitely something that is a great benefit for you. And reading Shastra, reading ancient scripture, reading righteous scriptures and righteous books will definitely bring you immense wisdom and good luck and expansion and prosperity in your life. You also get published. If you want to write a book, you get published easily. No problem. So definitely, if that is something in your mind, definitely do it because you can get published very easily. Also, an overall good fortune and personal power. You just, as long as you stay faithful, as long as you stay balanced, as long as you stay righteous, as long as you stay dharmic, there is definitely immense fortune and immense professional power that can come into your life naturally. You are super optimistic and very accepting, very open-minded and very accepting of everybody's, plane of understanding and plane of growth spiritually, physically, and mentally. So very merciful naturally that you are. Now for a woman's chart, then this is definitely a foreign husband, a husband who is not from the same country as you are, a husband who's very religious, who's very dharmic, and who's very righteous will naturally show up here in your ninth house. Now, if your Jupiter is weak or debilitated, retrograde, or badly aspected in the ninth house, or just weak because of your own actions, then you might be experiencing some other things like conflicted over the need for freedom and the restraints of the conventional religion. So this could be like conflicting you. You want freedom, but you know you can't. You want freedom, but it restricts you and your belief system. So this could be showing like an issue here where Jupiter is a little bit weak in the ninth house here. We want to strengthen it. Also very extravagant, too exaggerated, too big personality. It also shows like a disbalance in Jupiter in the ninth house. Also thinks too big, too idealistic, to the point that it loses the realistic situation. So this could also be showing like a weakness into the Jupiter in the ninth house. Also having an energy of impracticality because of this. They could also be going all the way into fanatical, like religion, being very like religiously fanatic about things and pushing it too much to the edge to the point that it loses its essence. So here that could also be a weakness to the Jupiter in the ninth house. And if you're experiencing any of these things, then I highly suggest you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. Do those remedies because that can really bring some balance to the Jupiter in the ninth. Also troubles while traveling. There could be issues while you're traveling, problems while you're traveling, especially long distance traveling. So we definitely want to do some remedies before you travel so that you can strengthen that Jupiter naturally. There could be like a weak fortune for father, where the father doesn't have that much fortune, it's not that very lucky, and that's because of your chart. So strengthening your Jupiter will definitely not only help you but also your father. There could be like children degrade wealth, so your children degrade your wealth. It's like a spending that is unnecessary and that degrades your ability to have more fortune and wealth naturally. There could be like a ultra conservative outlook on life too, that can also show like a weakness in the Jupiter in the ninth house. Also loses through charities, where maybe you're putting too much into charities and there's like too much losses that can happen here. So we want to balance out and strengthen that Jupiter a little bit more. And a lack of effort to gain wealth. So maybe not taking in the opportunities that you can have or the ability to gain more wealth in your life. So Jupiter here can definitely affect that. So if you're experiencing any of these things in your life, then it might be the time for you to strengthen your Jupiter in the ninth house with the remedies at the beginning of the video. That could really help you, so check them out, and that will be a great way to bring more of the good blessings that Jupiter has in the ninth house. Alrighty, those were your messages. I hope that they help. Love you guys so much, and remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a personal consultation with me. In the description here below, you will be able to find the link. Alrighty, my beautiful Jupiter in the ninth, and a specific remedy specifically for you, Jupiter in the ninth. One thing that could really help you is isolation and faraway travels. Those will be fantastic for you. Every now and again, just having silence, every now and again, disconnecting from the mundane world and doing yoga. This could be a great way to also heal personally your Jupiter in the ninth house. Alrighty, so those were your messages. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And please let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the ninth house and how has that turned out for you, so that you can find other people who also have Jupiter in the ninth house. Alrighty, those were your messages, and now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the 10th house. Welcome to anybody who has Jupiter in the 10th house. If you have Jupiter in the 10th house in your Vedic astrological chart, then this is for you. So Jupiter in the 10th house is a very fortunate placement, because here you have the occupation of wisdom. You may end up being in a position where you become a teacher, like you will be known in your profession as a teacher, as a counselor, as a wise person. One thing that I have seen with people in Jupiter in the 10th house is that they never lack opportunities for work. They never lack opportunities for profession. So their problem is that they just have too many offers. That's really their problem. They don't know which profession to choose, if it's this one or that one. And even if they lose a job or something, they immediately get a job pretty quickly afterwards. So Jupiter here is definitely blessing their career and their profession. So if you ever do want to take a risk in your profession, I will say don't be fearful of this, because Jupiter will definitely help you to stay afloat and to get massive opportunities, especially if it's strong. Because if it is a strong Jupiter in the 10th house, then you can definitely have an expansive career. It just grows with time. It just grows with your effort, and massive opportunities come into your life naturally with an expansive career here. You could also be very skilled in consulting, in teaching, in counseling, in judging. You could be a judge. You could be an amazing teacher, a great philosopher. You could be a great spiritualist. You could be known in your career as somebody who's spiritual, or even a financial planner. So great careers here for you, where you just gain that wisdom and people love to listen to you. Now, your father or your guru, as well as a person who has a very good reputation naturally. So you could be known as like that fatherly figure to others, that teacher figure to others. And because of that, you have a great reputation. Jupiter here, when it's strong, it's always going to protect your reputation naturally. So very, very good placement. It's really promising you a great career, is really promising you a great ability to make a great name for yourself in the world, and to be remembered for something important. So it's a very nice position. Also, you have a very ethical and legal energy. So the more ethical, the more righteous, the more moral, the more you follow your principles in your career, the more you gain benefit. You could also be you can follow the standards very well. And as you follow the standards very well, again, you will be known as that leader, that professional person who follows these standards to a T, and therefore you gain more abundance, more prosperity, and more expansion in your career naturally. There is this energy of contented. So you are content as well with what you have. You are content with what you gain, which is a wonderful thing to have. You are not always hankering for more and more and more when Jupiter is strongly aspected and it's strong in the 10th house. We also have here good children, good family life. You can have good homes, good resources around you. But your children are definitely somebody who is very well mannered and very well placed. And there's also, for women, for your charts, there is this husband who does very well. A husband who could be a CEO, EEO, or a big executive, a person of a great power, maybe in the government, in a high position. And this is your husband that could be really good for you. And he can also earn through learning. He's known as a teacher of some sort, and he can earn through learning. So that is for women's charts with Jupiter in the 10th house. Now, if Jupiter is debilitated by any reason, because of being retrograde, being in a bad sign, badly aspected, or just by the own actions that we take that can weaken the Jupiter, then we can experience different things with Jupiter in the 10th house, which is like being overly optimistic to the point that it's not being balanced and not seeing the reality of things, especially at work and career. We can lack sufficient application to our career. We're not putting enough energy into our profession and our career. So that can also show a weak Jupiter in the 10th house. Also, poor reputation, where maybe your reputation is not doing that well, or you don't have any reputation. So this is also showing like a weak Jupiter in the 10th house, as well as being very reckless with money, very reckless with power and leadership at the same time. And this also brings you problems in your career and your expansion of wealth when Jupiter is not strong in the 10th house naturally. It could also bring difficulties with children and family, where you may have issues with your children, you may have issues with your family. And if you are experiencing any of these things, then I highly suggest you go to the beginning of the video and check out the remedies, because the remedies can really help you in balancing this out. And as well as having any problems where maybe you have a low status. You don't have that high status that you could have when this Jupiter is strong in the 10th house. Also, it hurts self by being too generous. You're being too generous with others, and then you're hurting yourself, you're hurting your reputation, or you're hurting your bank account. So having a balance here. And it's also showing this Jupiter debilitated, weak in the 10th house. Also, problems with the law or with following standards of behavior, or with the authority figures or your boss. So having these issues can really show that there's a weak situation going on with your Jupiter in the 10th house. I highly suggest that you strengthen it with the remedies at the beginning of the video. That can really help you, and that could really bring you better results for your Jupiter in the 10th. And also, father could have some difficulties or a bad reputation if your Jupiter is not strong enough in the 10th house. So that is for you. And as I mentioned, if you're experiencing any of these negative things, then definitely go do the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that can really help you in gaining more of the great benefits that Jupiter in the 10th can really give you. Alrighty, so that is for you, Jupiter in the 10th. I really hope that they help. Love you guys so much. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me. In the description here below, you will be able to book one today, so that we can go deep into your natal chart, your current transits, and you can ask me as many questions as you would like. Alrighty, people. So for you, I'm going to give you a very small detail. A very specific remedy for you, Jupiter in the 10th house people, is that one of the greatest remedies that you can do is to do lots of self-care. Lots of self-care, working out and taking care of your body, yourself, and your image is going to be one of the greatest ways for you to really boost this Jupiter in the 10th house. So focus more that energy on your reputation, your image, and how you physically are presenting yourself. This is very, very, very important for you to gain more success in your life. Alrighty, so those were your messages. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and please let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the 10th house and how has that turned out for you, so that you can also find out other people who also have Jupiter in the 10th house. Alrighty, and now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the 11th house. Welcome. If you have Jupiter in the 11th house in your Vedic astrology chart, then this is for you. And Jupiter in the 11th house is naturally a little bit of a Lakshmi yoga that happens here, because this is the house of gains. This is the house of acquaintances and networks of people. So when Jupiter is in the 11th house, this gives you the growth of opportunities and profit. So very, very auspicious placement for sure. When Jupiter is strong in this 11th house, it can give you good cash flow. Cash flow just flows to you naturally. It doesn't get blocked when Jupiter is strong here. It also has the capacity to develop opportunities naturally, especially if you just go out and you're surrounded by people. You might just be sitting there and people just come up to you, and it was like the perfect person you needed to meet, the perfect person you needed to make collaborations with. It's like the people will just come to you at the right time if you just don't isolate yourself. If you go out there and make yourself sociable, the right people will just come to you easily, and the opportunities will come there hence. Also perceives positive outcomes. You perceive positive outcomes naturally from things that you do and all the stuff that you do. This is when a Jupiter becomes strong and powerful in the 11th house. There's also a friendly disposition. When Jupiter is strong in the 11th house, you are friendly. You can make friends with anybody. You can make friends with anything. And people love to become your friend. People love to become, they want to be your friend. So Jupiter here becomes like that great friend. And you personally may like to have very wise friends. Like you prefer to have your mentors being your friends, your teachers being your friends, your saintly people being your friends. Those might be your preferred friendships, but overall other people will love to have you as a friend naturally, and you have this friendly disposition. You also benefit from older siblings or people who play that role. So yes, like having that older brother, having that older sister, you benefit from them. Or anybody who might be a big brother, big sister to you, you naturally benefit from having them around in your life. There's also this energy where you like to you like to, as well as influential people. So you attract influential people into your life easily. You can make friends with that very high-end person, influential person. You make great friends with them. They like you. You are not afraid to talk to the very most important person in the room, and you make friends with these influential people easily. So Jupiter, when it's strong in the 11th house, it really gives you these great opportunities. It also can give you very civic-minded, very altruistic. You are somebody who loves to have a big picture and help others. And when you help your friends or your acquaintances make their dreams come true, this naturally expands even more knowledge in your, more abundance and prosperity in your life. It expands your possibilities even more in your life. So it's almost like when your Jupiter is strong here, you will naturally have like really good cash flow, really good opportunities, really good life. And now is for you to share that and help your friends and help your acquaintances also get to that level. And that just even makes you more abundance, more prosperity, more money easily. There's also an energy here where you are very open-handed. You are very generous, especially generous with friends, generous with acquaintances. You are very open and generous with them naturally. You are very inspiring, and you are quite the dreamer also. It is important for you to dream big with this Jupiter in the 11th house. And you will most probably make all your dreams come true naturally. Now, if Jupiter is badly aspected in a difficult sign, or if it's retrograde or weak because of your own actions here, then Jupiter can be giving different results, where maybe you can be experiencing travels with overexpansion or developing too rapidly, where things get fast too big and you may not be able to hold it all together in a business or in an enterprise. You could also be having a loss of opportunities through slow reaction or follow-up, where you disconnect and you don't follow up with people, and there's a disconnection, so we can lose opportunities in that way as well. There could be a lazy or unsupported friends or older siblings, where you're not attracting the best associations, and these associations are just kind of holding you down instead of helping you move forward. There could also be a lack of money management, where you're not managing your money well, and so it shows that there could be a weak Jupiter in the 11th house here. Maybe there's a drain of resources through children as well. So this could also be causing problems with your Jupiter being weak in the 11th house. They could also be immoderate pleasure seeker. So you may be seeking too many pleasures, paying too much for them, and this may be showing a weakness of your Jupiter in the 11th house as well. There could be, for women, a husband that has cash flow problems. So if you're a woman with displacement, then if it's weak, your husband may show that it has some problems with cash flow or money coming to them. And you can have physically ear or hearing problems with a Jupiter being weak here, or a fatty heart with Jupiter being weak in the 11th house. So if you're experiencing any of these things for Jupiter in the 11th house, then I highly suggest that you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, because that could really help you in strengthening your Jupiter so that you can get more of the great benefits that this amazing placement of Jupiter in the 11th house can give you. So check it out. Alrighty, those were your messages, and remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you take advantage of my promo and check out in the description here below. You can book a one-on-one session with me where we go deep into your natal chart, your current transits, and you can ask me as many questions as you would like, and you can book one today. Alrighty, Jupiter, those were your messages, my beautiful Jupiter in the 11th house people. And a specific remedy for you guys specifically is really activating the second house, controlling what you eat, controlling what you consume. Fasting every now and again will be really beneficial for you, and also having very strong family values, being very manageable with your money, being a person of integrity in your word. All of these things can really benefit your Jupiter and activate it when it's in the 11th house as well. Alrighty, Jupiter, those were your messages. I really hope that they helped. Thank you so much for being here. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And please let us know in the comments if you have Jupiter in the 11th house and how has this turned out for you. We would love to hear it. And also you can find out other people who also have Jupiter in the 11th house. Now we're going to be doing Jupiter in the 12th house. Welcome. If you have Jupiter in the 12th house in your Vedic astrological chart, then this is for you. Jupiter in the 12th house is a very interesting placement. It is definitely a very spiritual placement. Jupiter naturally rules the 12th house because it rules the sign of Pisces. So Jupiter may feel very comfortable in this 12th house. And for you, you get the liberation through knowledge because this is the moksha house. This is the house of liberation. So you get a massive liberation through knowledge, through wisdom. You really are the one who can grasp transcendental knowledge and devotion very deeply. So when we have a strong Jupiter in the 12th house, we can experience things where you really are a seeker of liberation. You really benefit from yoga, from meditation, from isolation. Actually, your greatest ideas and your greatest expansive ideas happen when you are in a place of isolation or in a faraway land. Jupiter here wants to take you into travels and wants to take you to faraway places, wants to take you to ashrams, to temples, to, up in the mountain where the yogis are. This is when Jupiter is strong in the 12th house. It also benefits from monastic lifestyle. You can really be that person that could be a monk easily. You can be a great renunciate where you're just like, I don't really need to be part of this material world and I can dedicate my life to spirituality for the rest of my life. Jupiter will give you everything that you need, will give you all types of benefits, and it will give you all types of expansions. So you really benefit from a pure monk life. Naturally, a person who has a Jupiter in the 12th house. There's also an energy of a worker in a place of healing. You could be a great healer, especially healer of the soul, like not the soul, but like the subconscious. You could be a great healer of the subconscious. And when Jupiter's in the 12th house, like you really have the ability to astral travel, to meditate, to leave your body, to go to another dimension, to go into a deep meditation for a very long time. So this is a great benefit for Jupiter in the 12th house. There is also a great energy for correctional institutions. You can also do great in either healing places or in correctional institutions like jails, like insane asylums, like where people get isolated, where people get taken into away from society. You could be a great healer for all these peoples naturally. Ashrams or spiritual communities are fantastic for you. Living in an ashram will be great for you. Living in a spiritual community will be fantastic for you. Also, you are very supportive. You are very, very supportive to others and to everyone. And you do get very spiritual children when you have a Jupiter in the 8th house. You get very spiritual children. You also, for women, you may get a husband who is drawn to a path of enlightenment. Your husband also needs a lot of time alone, a lot of isolation. So don't take this in the wrong way, but your husband just needs this moment for himself and to go deep into his spiritual practices. Also, you gain from foreign lands and with foreign connections. So you can do very well with working with foreign lands, working in another foreign land that is not where you were born, or doing any foreign trade that you can do from a faraway land and trade goods from a faraway land. You can make some really good money with this as well. There could also be a great, amazing energy that can come to you when you go into pilgrimages, especially a pilgrimage far away, in a faraway land. This could be really fantastic for you. And also you live a full and simple life. You really are that person of like simple life, high thinking. You can really have a very high life of great wisdom, great depth of spirit, but you may be very happy with the simpler things of life. It doesn't have to be extravagant and crazy for you. So that is when Jupiter is very strong in this house. And you can also become a healer of others in their subconscious, become like a meditation teacher, a spiritual teacher, a yoga teacher. This is a very great placement where you can make very good money with it. Now, when Jupiter is debilitated, badly aspected, retrograde, or just weak from our own actions here, then you can definitely get different results where you could be experiencing a lack of intent in material development, where you get now too disconnected. Like, let's say you don't take a monk life and you don't become a renunciate, but you still are like so disconnected from making money and like being part of the material world. So that could be a weak side to Mercury, for a weak debilitation sign for Jupiter in the 12th house. It could also give you an overindulgent spirit, where you want to overindulge, especially in like hidden pleasures that you do behind closed doors. It could be sexually, but it could also be intoxicants, too much intoxicants, too much alcohol, too many drugs. This could also be a disbalance and a weak sign of Jupiter in the 12th house. It could also be giving you poor finances, constantly losing, constantly not having, kind of being in this sort of beggar state. Jupiter here can also show a weakness in your 12th house if it's here. It could also give you educational losses. And it can also give you like this murder complex where you're sacrificing yourself for others in that way. You could also feel betrayed or unsupported, like you're not getting the help and you're being betrayed by your loved ones. There could also be an energy of, you work as an underline or like as a like not really stepping up to a leadership position, like staying kind of in a low, less effort, minimal position. And so that could also be showing like a Jupiter weakness in the 12th house. You could have a hypocritical show of religious interest, where you say you're very spiritual, you say you're very religious, but you don't practice anything. You don't really are like following it through fully. That's showing like a Jupiter debilitated in the 12th house. You can have like this beggar energy where you want to live out of other people, where you just want to, not work and you just want to live out of others. That could show Jupiter weak in the 12th house. There could also be physically blood sugar problems here, as well as fat and fluid buildups in the body, and also trouble with children. Your children become very troublesome for you. And for women, you may end up with a poor husband if Jupiter is not strongly, if it's not strong in this 12th house. So if you're experiencing any of these things with Jupiter in the 12th house, then I highly suggest that you go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. That could really help you to strengthen your Jupiter, and so that you can get more of the benefits of Jupiter in the 12th house for yourself. Alrighty, those were your messages, Jupiter in the 12th house. I really hope that they help. Love you guys so much. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me in the description here below, where we can go deep into your natal chart, your current transits, and you can ask me as many questions as you will like. Alrighty, that is for you. And specifically for you, my beautiful Jupiter in the 12th, a specific remedy for you that can really help you is that you really have to activate this third house of effort. So putting effort, especially effort into learning and doing things with your hands, and not being in like really having this determination to put effort in what you do. Having good relationship with your siblings and having a good relationship with your neighbors, that could really help you to get to a new level and to get more of the great benefits that Jupiter in the 12th has for you. Alrighty, that is for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and please let us know in the comments if you do have Jupiter in the 12th house and how has that turned out for you, so that you can also find other people who have Jupiter in the 12th house. Alrighty, my brothers and sisters, thank you so much for being here for the analysis of Jupiter through the houses. I really hope that this was able to bring you lots of understanding. Thank you so much for being here with me, sending everybody so much love and light. Thank you for the comments, the hypes, and for the likes. Truly appreciate all of you, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next video. Hari Bol and Hari Krishna.